Hello, Tampa Bay. Brian Stavely with eXp Realty here. Just wanted to touch base with you guys this evening about three things. So, this is going to be a fairly quick market update. The first thing that I want to say is today's election day, 11/8, and hopefully you guys went out and voted. I did. And I will be looking forward to watching the news tonight. Just kidding. Won't be doing that. We'll wake up tomorrow and see what happens, and we'll go from there. But one of the reasons I bring that up is, it's almost the middle of November, and a lot of people know and don't know. So I want to point it out that the holidays are really kind of slow as far as real estate. There's less people moving during that time. Picks back up the first of the year. So just when I'm looking at the different stats on active properties, sold properties, what's pending, just keep that in mind that it's a natural effect that around the holidays it's slower. So you combine that with something I'm about to show you, and you'll realize that our market has really shifted over the last few months, and a lot. And I had a mastermind meeting early Monday, and there were a few new agents on there, and I wanted to explain to them how they need to be talking to people. And sometimes and I used a doctor analogy. Sometimes when you go into the doctor and he looks at you, I've done this before, he puts his blood pressure thing on you and he starts talking to you and he's like, hey, you seem like you're a little bit nervous or something's going on. Your blood pressure is a little bit high. You need to watch that. Maybe you need to walk more. You need to do this. I had that happen, and then, as I mentioned in a previous episode, I've had the opposite happen too, where he took my blood pressure and he said, "Listen, something's wrong." And they ended up doing some tests, and I had a procedure done. But the point is that his attitude changed quickly. And I think that in the real estate market, what's happening right now is agents aren't being as either they don't know or they're not presenting it the way that it is. And the truth is, our market has shifted. It's not a little bitty, it's slowing down. The rates made it different. There's a lot of different things that have come into play. Now, don't get me wrong, things are still selling, but it's not the market that we had to where sellers are getting multiple offers. They can list it for any price, or they can, overprice it. And hey, if it doesn't sell in a week, we'll bring the price down or something like that. That is not where we're at right now. And that's not where we're going to be, in my opinion, for the next couple of years. I think that we're going to be in a situation to where you have to work and you have to have you have to have a great marketing plan. You need to have a great realtor, a great sales and marketing plan, and putting in the MLS and working hard. And the reason why I like the MLS, I mean, people, sometimes have gotten used to all of this online stuff, but the MLS is all of the realtors and basically all of mid Florida. So if you're anywhere around the Tampa Bay area, and especially the Gulf beaches, there's people from all over the state that want to move to Clearwater Beach, to Bel Air Beach, to Indian Rocks Beach, and over on the water, right? So with that, when you get that vast exposure on the MLS, you have a much better chance. But so just know that a couple of things. One, the market has definitely shifted. There's no doubt about it. If you want to talk to me about it, I can let you know. There is some really good buying products. I mentioned that yesterday too. There's a 3-2-1 buy down, a 2-1 buy down. I'll probably explain that tomorrow or the next day. But part of what I wanted to do today was just to say that it's a natural slowdown because of the holidays, but it's also the market has shifted a lot, and I think it's going to continue. I don't think the economy is back on track, and I look at it like a giant aircraft carrier. It's still going in the wrong direction, and it hasn't even slowed down yet. I mean, they're still raising the rates consistently. There's no end in sight for what's going to stop inflation and these types of things that are driving the rates up and driving the prices on everything up. And with that being said, even when they start lowering the rates, they're not going to lower it 3 points all at one time. They're going to slowly lower it. And then basically, once they figure, once they get everything sorted out, that aircraft carrier takes a long time to turn around. It's not a speedboat, so the economy is going to turn around. And then hopefully, we'll see some escalation in the once it turns around, maybe the rates will start dropping. A lot of people are thinking that's going to happen next year. But right now, they're in the sevens. And, with the 2-1 buy down, it's a really great product if you're thinking about moving. So anyway, that was the first thing I wanted to say was the market slowdown and why. The second thing I wanted to show you was, and we're going to talk about Clearwater Beach today specifically, is the area that I looked at and I did some research on. But one of the things I saw that I thought was kind of neat, I've had a couple of people say, well, why are the realtors, or why is the message that I'm getting, why isn't it as strong as you're saying it is, Brian? Why isn't it that people haven't warned us as we've been going? Why didn't anybody see this coming? You've been talking to the same realtor about listing your house for $1 million over the last 6 months, and all of a sudden you want to do it, and they tell you need to put it on for 850, and you're upset, which is understandable. But one of the things is why did this come out of the woodwork? And I wanted to show you something here. This is something that in August, so in August 12th, 2022, just a few months ago, Zillow and Open Door announced a multi-year partnership that combines the two category leaders to transform how people start their move. So Open Door is an iBuyer. So they buy your house kind of, you go online, you put your address in there, and they say, hey, we'll give you, in that case that I was giving you, you wanted $1 million. If you have a good realtor and they're being honest with you, and $1 million was probably a little bit too high a few months ago, you could have did that and then adjusted if you didn't get what you wanted. Today, I would consider that a mistake. I mean, I think you need to put it on where it's going to sell and then work your tail off to get it. In this case, Open Door would offer you 600 or something about that. I mean, they just basically offer, make offers like that. And, or they might offer you 750 or 850 or 950. Who knows what the number is going to be, but that's what they do. That's what the iBuyers are, is they're basically online, just basically handing out these offers. Now, one thing you need to know about them, I've dealt with them now for a few years, and the number that they give you online is usually not the number that you end up getting. And same with these no open houses and no inspections and none of this. There's a reason why they're doing that. If they do that and they just say, hey, we'll make it as easy on you to move out as we can, think to yourself, why? And the reason is because they're taking your equity. They want your equity is the answer. So if your house is worth 850 and they give you 7 for it because they make it easy on you, then basically that's what they're doing. Now, what I think is kind of funny is with this basically this Zillow and Open Door having a partnership, is that just a few months before that, Zillow stopped their iBuying product because they lost so much money with it. You need eyes on the ground. Boots on the ground is what they say in the military. You need eyes on the ground in real estate too. You need somebody that knows that you're on Gulf Boulevard and you're looking out at the Gulf of Mexico and you've got a corner unit that also has a view of the intercoastal, and you've got great access to this and that. You can't tell that stuff on a computer. That's all, BS. These guys are doing this stuff and they've been doing it for a while, and especially around the beaches. One of the things that many years I've sold properties on the water. And one of the things I've always talked about is how you can have 4 houses right next to each other, and they could be vastly different in style and price. One of them is looking back at the canal. The other one's looking out at open water. The one over here has had $200,000 worth of work done to it, so on and so forth. So to try and do a algorithm to where you just pull up what happened in Bel Air Beach or Clearwater Beach and say that you're going to give a good market analysis by what the computer says is insane. You got to walk that property. You got to look at the lot line. It could be a quarter acre, but it could be a quarter acre that goes like this towards the water. It's a pie-shaped lot, or it could be a quarter acre that goes like this towards the water. Huge difference, huge difference. So anyway, these two guys are partnering up. This is in August. This right here is 5 days ago. And I'm not happy that, anybody's losing a ton of money, but I just know I don't like the way that they're getting people's equity. I mean, they trying to make it sound, they try and make it sound like they're your friend, and they're trying to make it sound that it's so easy. They're getting your equity is the answer. That is what they're doing. And in my case, even though realtors get paid, which I like to get paid uh, for the work that I do, my goal has always been, I haven't not one time in my whole career. Now, there have been a few times where I have sold it for a lot less than what I could have. And that's a situation to where there's a parent selling it to their child, or it's kind of an inside deal, a brother sister type thing. I've done those, and I've helped people do that. But almost always, 99% of the time, I am there to try and get the seller as much money as I can get. And I just know that that's not what these iBuyers' goal is. Their goal is to get as much money as they can get. So on a balance beam, if I come to your house and I think I can sell it for $1 million, that's what I'm going to do. And you and I are going to talk about a marketing plan that can help us get there. If they get to your house and they think that they can buy the same house for 610, they're going to do it because that's good for them, right? And I just, it really kind of aggravates me. But the fact is, they lost almost $1 billion in the third quarter. And my point that I started off with was, how come this thing jumped out at us so fast, the market shift? Why did it get so crazy so fast? Well, these are two of the biggest experts in the world. I mean, they have, they lost $1 billion in one quarter. They got a ton of money, a ton of employees, a ton of smart people there. And basically, they were behind the ball. And one of the things that they've said is that this is one of the most dramatic turnarounds as far as real estate markets in 40 years. And when you consider the 2006 and 2008, the crash that we had, and they're saying that this one is worse than that in the last 40 years as far as the price drop. Now, it's not the same. There were a lot of other factors in that one. But just the fact that how hot the market was, and now it's really cooling off once in 40 years. And these are the experts that did that. So don't blame your local realtor too much for this happening. But one of the reasons I'm doing these every day is so people can come on and talk to me and say, what's going on today? It's the middle of November. Tell me what I should do today. I'm thinking about selling in January. What would you do? And whether or not you're going to work with me or not, I mean, I'll help people in any way I can. I've always been like that. And, I not only do I have a wealth of knowledge, I'm in the REMAX Hall of Fame. I basically have sold tons and tons of real estate around here. I've owned a couple of different businesses related to real estate. And I know a lot of people in the real estate business as well. So if one person is, if you're wanting to get multiple opinions on what's going on, certainly reach out to me, reach out to somebody else that you'll provide. So anyway, I wanted to show you that. Now I'll go on and finish up with Clearwater Beach. So again, what I did, if you look, I went to active, pending, and sold. And then I have sold for the last 180 days. I'm going to change that again to, I'm going to even call it 60 days. So in Clearwater Beach, everything, so this is the property style: villas, townhouses, single family homes, mobile homes. There aren't many of those in Clearwater Beach. Duplexes, things like that. Everything that we would have in here, there's 30 total. So what I'm going to do is just say, listen, let's just do two. Let's just do condominiums and single family homes. And when I do that, we drop to 22. So when you look at this and you say, okay, well, what are the 22? So what's out there right now? And the answer is that there are 11 properties for sale. And out of those, there's 11 properties for sale, 4 are pending, and then there's 6 that are sold in the last 60 days. And when you look at the price ranges, they're anywhere from, $1 million, the ones that have sold, down to about 330. Both of these are small condos. So let's take this step back. I would never do that in a normal market analysis. I always want to compare apples to apples. So I would only be looking at single family homes, and I didn't even put this in, but I only want to look at ones that are on the water or not on the water. In this case, we'll just leave it, but I'll go back to my criteria and I'll take away the condos. And I'll say that we're only looking at single family homes. And that was the thing that I thought was really, really neat, is that there's only three. So in Clearwater Beach, there are one active and two pending. But you can see one of the things I think that has happened is, because the market has shifted a little bit, some of these higher end properties have begun to begin to sell. And so you got two under contract and one that's for sale. The two that are under contract are, quite, significant homes. You look at all the different things that they have, and who is buying these things is, a lot of times it's people from. One of the issues in this price range that you also have to look at as part of the word problem is that the higher end like this, they have a lot of cash, and it's cash from up north, the cash from, California, wherever it's at. And so sometimes it's a cash deal, but sometimes it's also a move up or a move over. So they've got a $2 million house in Tampa. They finally retired and now they want to move to the beach. They've got the extra money, they can buy that. That's a normal type of a sale for something like this. There's a lot, they have lots of options in this price range. Well, the normal market, let's call it 250, 300, 500, somewhere in there. That move up buyer that, let's say, is in a $200,000 or $300,000 house and wants to move up to 5 or 6, right now is just not a good time to do that in most cases. So every case has its own merits, but in most cases, those folks already have 3.5% mortgages. Why would they go up into the sevens? So that's the issue that they're taking. Now they can do a 2-1 buy down or something like that. We can talk about that. But that's the issue with that. So if we go back and we click on condos again, what you're going to see is a different, you're going to see a lot more. So there's 19 of these. And Clearwater Beach also, a lot of people don't know this. Clearwater Beach also includes Sand Key. So when you put in Clearwater Beach into a lot of places, that also includes Sand Key. Some people think that. So here's one, the residence on Sand Key. But you look at the different price ranges that are available, and they're all over the place. So you can get condos on Clearwater Beach or Sand Key anywhere from 320,000 to 3.5 million. And when you look at what's going on, the status, there's let's say there's 10 of them that are on the market right now. There's two that are pending, and then there's 7 that have sold. So again, the market's slowing a little bit, but it's still very strong. And I mean, one of the things that you have to realize too is that when you look at a scale and you say, over the last 3 years, my property has gone up 70%. And then, I come and talk to you and you give me a hard time because I tell you it went down 5% in the last couple of months. Just keep in mind that you're still up 65%. So that's a case that, a lot of buyers are still looking at. Don't think that there's any fire sales out there. There are not. These houses are going to sell if they're priced right, and the condos as well. And the condo market is actually going to pick up. One of the things that really slows down around this time of year is the condo market in general, because all the snowbirds are going to come down in January. Some of them are buying right now, but some of them are going to wait until they get here and look and see what happens in the market. The other thing that ends up happening is when the market starts to go down, the smart money waits to see how far it's going to go down. They don't want to buy at 500,000 and then next year it's only worth 420, right? So you got those issues too. So you got to think about it from a bunch of different perspectives. So that is my story for today. I'm here. My name's Brian Stavely. I own what'smyhomeworth.com. I'm a longtime real estate broker in this area, and will help you with anything that I can. And so just reach out to me one way or another. Also, am the CEO of Cardio Networking. I run a networking group with a bunch of amazing people and different types of things that we do. And so if that's something that you want to get involved in, we've got some really cool stuff that we're doing. We'll be doing some um, we'll be doing some videos and some live streams and stuff on cardio networking as well. As you know, we're just now launching, so really excited to be talking to people about that. But you know, for what it's worth in real estate, that's another area where, you know, if I have dozens and dozens and dozens of really good contacts, and our cardio networking system's a little bit different than a lot of other networking groups. So I might have a few more inside uh, scoops on what's going on in the market, different buyers that might be looking for your property, and different uses. So, you know, if you're doing Airbnbs or things like that, different investors. So, anyway, I really, really appreciate your time. Thanks for watching, and I will be back again tomorrow. All right, bye.